Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to another Saw or open question video, but also we're just going to be talking about the Saw franchise at this point. And I'm going to introduce my guest. Actually, he hasn't actually interrupted me this time, so everyone say hello to Kanji. He's just gone. Oh no.
Hey YouTubers, welcome back to another... When I don't interrupt you, I always copy you.
Okay, that's our new tradition then?
Yeah. Hey YouTubers, and welcome to another Saw discussion video where we're going to be doing an open question.
Hashtag smack that ASSJ. I don't know.
Hashtag
something.
big booty bitches.
It's nothing to do with this introduction or Saw or anything like that. Anyway, guys, just an open question for you guys. I want to hear what y'all have to think about this, what y'all think about this. I want to know what y'all want to see, or I don't know where we're going with this. Anyway, guys, what is your favorite Saw movie and why? If you're a fan of the series, if you're kind of a person who doesn't necessarily know anything about the series, if you're just kind of a passive observer and a viewer, if you don't know much about the series, then tell me your favorite scene, your favorite trap, your favorite character, or something else, because I'm probably not going to do multiple videos on this, so we'll talk about everything. So basically, I'm just going to start this off with saying that my favorite movie of the entire series is the third one. I love Saw 3D, or 3, not 3D, that's completely different,
No, too late, you already said it. Go! Reasons you like Saw 3D.
Oh no! Oh, God. No, but I feel like basically the third one's my favorite, and I love the first two. I love the sixth film. I kind of live with the other three, honestly. But to me, the third one's the best, just because it deals a lot more with character. It's the longest one of the series, I think, and it deals a lot more with character and character interactions than any of the other ones, apparently. Like, we get to see a lot of Amanda and John's relationship throughout that entire film, and kind of how they interact with each other. Now, a lot of people misconceive, like, what was going on there. A lot of people think that, okay, well, there's some kind of a sexual relationship there, some kind of, like, a dominatrix type of thing. I don't necessarily think that that's the case. Like, I've always thought of it more of a, I guess, what would you call it? It's like a father-daughter relationship, student-teacher, whatever she kind of explains it. She explains it as is in the very end of the second film. That relationship between them is what really makes that film really great. And also, the one thing I've always thought of is that one to me seems like more of a movie than any of the other six, because like it's a legitimate story. It has a beginning, middle, and end. And one of the reasons the other ones are not necessarily the same as that is because they all kind of feel incomplete. Other than the first one that had that twist ending, and it was supposed to have a twist ending and make you kind of sit there and go, oh my god, and like just like rub your head and be like, oh my god, what just happened? What did I see? Like the third one kind of has a beginning and it goes through it, and as long as you have the context from the original three, or even if you don't, you kind of look at it and go, okay, well, like, that was a good movie. But also, it had the balls to end. It had the balls to kill off two of its major characters, or its most major characters. It had the balls to, like, basically kill everyone in the room besides Jeff and, fucking Jeff. And just completely be a different movie. Like, I remember sitting in theaters back in 2006 and going, they've already announced Saw 4. Where are they going from here? I mean, that was the ballsiest ending back then that you could even imagine. So, honestly, guys, that's my opinion in terms of just favorite traps or favorite characters. My favorite character is Amanda Young. Maybe I'll do another video. Like, I think that actually deserves its own video. And my favorite trap has to be, I like the merry-go-round from Saw 6. I feel like that is a very impactful, very emotional scene when he's like, you fucking look at me when you're killing me. Like that's one of those things is like, oh my god, like I felt that. Like that was kind of scary. It was heartfelt. It was sad. And that's my favorite one. But I'll just throw it over to Kanji. Let him talk.
Yeah, unfortunately, my Saw 3 is my favourite one as well, so I have very little to add to that you didn't, except for the fact that obviously, just the undergoing story along the whole thing with, like, with the actual, with the guy looking for his going through obviously everything that happened to his child and everything, going through like, the lawyer and everything like that. That was all very kind of like, it tugged on your heartstrings, as well as whilst this other very, powerful story was going on in the background. And then when they kind of all almost linked together, and then you almost lead him to each room and everything at the end, it was just kind of like, wow. That's my favorite one. Unfortunately, my favorite character was also Amanda. As far as the traps go, I don't know the technical names for each of them. In terms of my favorite traps, I don't really want to pick this one because I want to deter from Saw 3. So I think if I wasn't going to mention the one where it's the one with the guy where his limbs are tied up in the thing and they're slowly rotating.
The rack.
Yeah, that one. That one's ugh. It's awesome. But so if I don't pick that one, if I'm trying to look through another film, I think my favorite one, I think it was in Saw 5, the one where they stick their hands in the glass boxes and they've got to donate so much blood.
Yeah.
I forget.
I can't. The name escapes me, guys. If you know what that's called, please comment in the comment section below. Honestly, the name escapes me for the most part, but I personally feel like that's a really good one too.
Because I don't really have anything else to kind of input onto that kind of side of things, I'm just going to go ahead and make a hashtag for this video. So with each of your suggestions as to why you have a favorite film and why it's your favorite film and why it's your favorite film, I also want you to hashtag pull out and Kramer on a face.
That's locker room talk right there.
There's very little reason for that, but just
there's no reason for that. Not very little. There's absolutely none.
Just humor me. Hashtag pull out and Kramer on a face.
Oh my god, that's ridiculous. Anyway, guys,
now you're imagining it. Now you're imagining it.
Now you're imagining. I'm trying to they have this nice father-daughter relationship, and now all I can think about is hashtag pull out and Kramer on her face, and it's just God.
You brought me onto the video, bro. You knew what I was going to
do. Okay. Before I let this go, I will say although I feel like Amanda deserves her own video, and I'll probably just do that a solo discussion sometime in the near future. Personally, I also like Mark Hoffman's character, if not just because his introduction and explanation through the series allowed the series to evolve in a way that the original 3 probably wouldn't. Yeah. Because he wasn't like Amanda. He wasn't a victim, and he wasn't sickly or overly obsessed with complexities or the value or determination of human life or something. He was a good foil to those two characters and everyone else around him, because if anything, his introduction, his kind of explanation in Saw 5 and where he came from was kind of, I would kind of have to akin it to Jason Lives, the sixth film and the Friday the 13th movies, where they basically Frankensteined him back to life and he became more of a monster than he ever really was. And just kind of like that. That's kind of what Mark Hoffman's character was to a point, and it kind of allowed the films to keep going, but also made them much more brutal and much more unforgiving as the series went on. And I think that's what a lot of people kind of remember now, because there's more films than not with him, and how his traps were kind of laid out and put through. And honestly, if anything, when they first wrote the first film, not knowing that it was going to be a huge franchise and everything, they wrote themselves in a corner with having the main guy have cancer and everything. And then they also continually wrote themselves in a corner by allowing them to kill off Amanda, or making her basically an incredibly small person. She was kind of a monster in her own right, but she didn't have much else. She couldn't necessarily carry this solely. She had to have that checks and balances with Jigsaw, which makes what we've already talked about, which makes Saw 3 such a good film, and also, respectively, what makes Saw 6 such a good film. And personally, I feel like having Hoffman there was something that allowed the series to keep going, but as he became more and more relevant and more, just kind of off the cuff as it kept going through 6, and especially Saw 7, where he was just on a murder spree, it became a little bit more unhinged in something that it necessarily wasn't. But just thinking of the original 3 films without something, that type of intervention, I don't think that the series could have gone on for as long as it did with the quality that it still had without a character like that, without someone who was just kind of a monster in their own right. And so much of a monster even still that he was able to completely usurp John in a way, because John was kind of explained as this character who thought like 20 steps ahead of everyone else and completely interpreting like everything in the future. And to his credit, and it's all in the writer's credit for the 7th film that a lot of people don't talk about, is the fact that Mark Hoffman actually kills Jill, which in the previous film, which in like one of the previous films, I'm pretty sure, or in the previous film, when William is talking to him in the flashback about getting the cancer research treatment, and he denies, he's like, you got to think about Jill, and he's like, let me think about Jill. And any way that John acts and everything, he provided a way out for Jill, but still in his own fairness. And because Mark was able to get out of that scenario, he was allowed, and John didn't even have an answer for him, so he actually got Jill. Now to John's credit, like thinking 20 steps ahead, obviously Dr. Gordon was out there to put him in the bathroom and everything like that, so obviously he still won at the end. But at the same time, the fact that Jill even dies says a whole lot about the character, says a whole lot about the series, and says a whole lot about what the original or the last 4 films actually meant to the series. And if you've ever thought about this, then yeah, like I keep trying to say, like, these films have a lot of depth to them. Yeah. And they're made in such a way, even though they were made year to year to year, they have so much depth to them that would explain or showcase so much cool things about their characters and the way they interact and the way that world works. So if you don't think about this stuff, it's worth thinking about, and one of the reasons I really love this series. So I know that was like a huge fucking rant, and I don't get to do many of these videos, so please just indulge me. But yeah, I mean, Kanji, do you have anything left to say? I'm sorry I went on that completely unrelated rant.
No, it's fine, bro. You get to do what you want. This is your video. At the end of the day, like, as far as the open question is concerned and everything like that, I mean, literally, guys, the only thing we can really ask you to do is, if you care that much about the series, if you care that much about Sword, then you will hashtag pull out and Kramer on a face.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I want that to be a thing. I'm sorry.
I like that, and well, I like that in very appropriate manner. Where it's only a joke, and if you are offended, please say, and we probably won't say it in the future. If you're offended, we don't want to offend anybody. But we always like to have fun, and it's all in good jest. Kanji and I are we try to be very, very respectful, but we do these videos, we say these things to have fun and joke. And if you don't feel like it's appropriate, please let that be known. Anyway.
Well, I mean, I said her. I never specified who. It could have been his wife. And who are you guys to judge what he does in the boudoir with his wife? There is no... Everyone does it. It's a natural instinct. It's all right. It is.
No, I understand. We're just having fun, guys.
Guys, anyway. This is the last time I'm ever on Mark's channel. Hashtag pull out Kramer on a face. Let's go out in style. Make it a good one. I'm done, I'm sorry.
No. Anyway, guys, please make sure to go check out Kanji if you want more, not necessarily Saw content, but if you like Dragon Ball. If you like Dragon Ball and funny Dragon Ball content, please go make sure to check out his channel. And please make sure to subscribe to me for new Saw news and stuff, and obviously more Saw and Dragon Ball stuff going forward. And we're going to catch you on the next question. Open question, anyway. Bye.
Open!